We welcome you tonight to another race of the Schumacher Racing League Blaze Design Cup Series. Tonight is the final race before the playoffs here at Phoenix, Arizona, at the Phoenix Raceway. This is the repaved version, not the old version, and looking for an exciting race here. At Phoenix, we got 150 laps for, let's see, I think we have about 30 drivers so far to navigate. It's a much wider track than it seems. And let's get a camera view on someone. Looking at Jacob Wilkerson, he started on pole last week at Michigan. Phoenix is a very interesting track. It's sort of like one could call it a tiny Pocono with three corners as this sweeping turn one, and then coming into turn two, and which you have to slow down for, or turn three. You see, I've never understood why they shifted the starting line to the middle of the dog leg, because that trips me up like that. I keep thinking turn two is turn three and vice versa. But anyways, you're going to see cars running a very funny line. They're not, some probably aren't going to be holding on to the yellow line as hard as you'd think they would. Grip is going to come at a price here at Phoenix, and the more grip you can get, the faster you can go. So currently, our pole sitter is Riley Marabello in the 16. And the moment I say that, Sean Rowe has taken the lead, or taking the provisional pole, as we have 3 minutes left in qualifying. So a whole lot of time, but most drivers are starting to finish up their final flying lap. We saw Gavin Austin doing a lot of wall riding in practice to get the fastest qualifying lap honors, or fastest practice lap honors. My apologies. But this is a track where cautions breed cautions. It's very easy, especially in these next-gen cars, to get loose. And like I said, cautions breed cautions, so we might see a very long, drawn-out green flag run here at Phoenix, or we might see a caution fest to draw out the regular season. Next week will be the beginning of the SRL playoffs, beginning with the wild card round. I'll explain that whole system next week at Texas, when these cars go there. But currently we're looking at Joey Beck in the number 77. Looks like he didn't get that good of an opening lap, so trying to set a new fastest lap. But currently Sean Rowe is your pole sitter. And Joey Beck not really setting it took a little bit to update. Setting a time fit for position number 4, so good qualifying effort. Right as I was about to say that he didn't set a good qualifying effort. So good qualifying effort by number 77, Joey Beck. Hopefully we'll see a lot of good moments from him this race. But Phoenix is one of those tracks where it could be a lot like Hell in a Cell. Not a whole lot of room to run once things start going awry, as we look at Aladim Contreras setting his fast laps, as he just set for P9. 45 seconds to go, and the last car currently running is Andretti Robinson, who looks like he's just out to do some practice laps before the race. I think he might have scraped the wall during his qualifying session, which invalidates lap times, so he'll be starting all the way from the back. 20 seconds left here in qualifying. Looks like Sean Rowe will have this pole locked up as Andretti Robinson does a little bit of sliding. But I haven't driven this combo in a while, so I don't know if it will be loose or tight. I remember the last time I did this, it tended to get pretty loose in turn 3, so that might be where we see the most incidents. But a defining feature of Phoenix is the dog leg. So as the field lines up, let's get our starting lineup going. So, starting in position number 1 is the 999 of Sean Rowe, and on his outside is the 210 of Gavin Austin. Next page. Starting in position number 3 on row number 2 is Riley Marabella in the 16 with Joey Beck starting in P4 on his outside. On the inside of row number 3 is the 46 of Cole Denton and James R. Bomar. On the inside of row number 4 is the number 6 of Andrew Cootie with Jacob A. Wilkerson on his outside. Starting in row 5th is the number 92 of Adam Contreras with Juan Escamilla rounding out your top 10 qualifying positions. Starting in row 6 is Nicholas Martinez Jr. in the number 48 with Hunter M. Collier in the number 8 on row 6. Starting in row 7 is the 28 of Joseph Lewis with Caleb McKinney on his outside. In row number 8 is Jonathan T. Baker in the 36 with Dominic Barbagallo on his outside. In row number 9 on the inside is Amir Biscombe in the number 2 with Evan Allen on his outside in the number 50. Starting in row number 10 is the 250 of Shockey Tarpley, and rounding out your top 20 qualifying positions is the 88 of Connor Zola. On the inside of row 11 is Michael Deitch with the 21 of Aiden McNeely on his outside. On the inside of row 12 is the number 40 of Riley Garcia, and on his outside is Carson Marenka in the number 050. James Dustin 96 looks like he didn't get qualifying time in. He will start in the back in the inside of row 13 with Andretti Robinson on his outside. Starting on the inside of row number 14 is the 94 of Bryce Hamrick and Pierce Maffitt. And starting all the way in last place will be the 350 of Ryan Bogey. As the field pulls out of pit lane, looks like it will just be a 1 lap to green thing as the pace car is already in pit lane. But you have to wait quite a while before
Hold on, not going green.
you have to wait quite a while before green flag, as my spotter just told me that we're not going green, so it might have been delayed for a little bit, the start. But impressive qualifying performance from Sean Rowe in that number 99. But also equally impressive from Gavin Austin in that number 210. All he did in practice was wall ride, but it looks like he can set legitimate laps when he wants to. So he might be a fierce contender for the victory. I don't think he's anywhere close to the cutoff in points, as Sean Rowe has a little bit of internet issues. But the field catches up to the pace car once more, as Sean Rowe's having some pretty big internet issues. Hopefully he can get that resolved. As Adam Contreras suffering the same thing. But it looks like we're going green this time by. Pace car is in, waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out here at Phoenix for the last race of the regular season in the SRL Blaze Designs Cup Series. Sean Rowe off to a good start on the inside. You can cut the dog leg, so everyone cuts it. People fanning out 3 and 4 wide coming into turn 1. Looks like Gavin Austin having a good run on that outside. Gets clear of Sean Rowe, so move Gavin Austin to the top spot. Riley Marabella looking to the inside of Sean Rowe. Sean Rowe pushes him down just a little bit. Not enough to make contact, but Sean Rowe bounces off the walls. We have a car going around in the back. I don't know who exactly that was. That might have been Nicholas Martinez Jr. Yeah, that's Nicholas Martinez Jr. around. So a quick caution here at Phoenix. So let's get a quick replay real quick on what happened. Okay, looking at the replay, it looks like Nicholas Martinez just got loose on cold tires out of the final corner and just slid in front of Adam Contreras. And I don't know who that car right behind him is that just barely missed it, but right in front of Adam Contreras. And is contact made between the two? I think that they might have avoided each other somehow. I think that Martinez's car just barely yawed away right before any point of contact between the 92 and the 48. So good avoidance by both of them. As we go back to our leaders, no anyone who did not get any sort of damage, no real point in pitting since it is lap number 3. But a very strong start from Gavin Austin. Working that middle lane. Is very possible to pass cars on the outside here at Phoenix through the corners. Just the corner speed is a lot of times it's not high enough to make it a bottom side dominant track, especially with the banking that these corners have. You can make it a very treacherous racetrack to get these bulky next gen cars around. But if what we've seen from Gavin Austin keeps holding up, we might have a pretty good contender on how to drive this track. As we are still under caution at lap number 5. So I don't think anyone got too much damage from that accident. So that's good to hear. There are no fast repairs for tonight's event. I think this time by will be the 1 to green when the pace car lights shut off. Yep, pace car lights are off. The drivers are choosing their lines. Looks like Gavin Austin going to stay on the outside line. Interesting move. But he will be the control car, so he's the car that goes first. But any delay and that can bring Riley Marabella right past him. Riley Marabella is known for making moves to get to the lead when he needs to. So it's all a matter of whether that 16 car deems it's a good time to go for the lead. But Gavin Austin leads the field down to the first restart of the race on lap number 6. Pace car is in.
Green flag
green flag's back out here at Phoenix. Marabella with not as good of a start as Gavin Austin. Sean Rowe almost clear of Marabello, and he is clear. So Sean Rowe will take the second position as Gavin Austin jumps out to a comfortable lead. The cars fan out pretty far back as we look at James Bomar in the 20. Looks like cars are content going about 2 wide right now, so nothing too crazy just yet. But with how wide this track is, that can change in just a moment as we go through the dog leg. Looks like everyone's keeping to themselves pretty good right now. Marabello all the way up top, looking to try and maybe mount something off that high side, but Cole Denton and Andrew Cootie are closing on him. Both of them racing each other pretty hard for lap 8. But that's just how racing goes here at Phoenix. Gavin Austin pulling out to a 0.4 of a second lead over Sean Rowe. As we look back, Andrew Cootie trying to clear himself from Cole Denton for the 4th position. Looks like he'll do it out of turn number 2. As I believe it's Michael Deitch who slapped the wall, but Cole Denton looking for the crossover. Sticks his nose on the inside through turn 3. Isn't able to pull up alongside of Andrew Cootie, so Cootie will defend that position. Looks like the lights just came on here at Phoenix. And James R. Bomar trying to run a higher line than Cole Denton, maybe try to get some momentum going off that top side, but it begs the question of how much more that will wear on your tires, as we have Hunter M. Collier on the inside of Jonathan T. Baker for this is 8th place, as Wilkerson looking to the inside of Bomar, who's looking on the inside of Cole Denton. Thought it was going to be 3 wide for a second right in front of us, but looks like they singled it all out. But Wilkerson looking to the inside of Bomar, trying to get a good drive off the corner across the line, and cuts the dog legs. They'll be side by side entering the first corner. And it looks like Wilkerson will have the edge or not. Bomar with a hard charge on the outside, keeping each other side by side for 6th place. Nice clean racing so far for 6th place between these two drivers. Two very competent drivers, but you with 150 laps here, you kind of want to save your tires so you have some more speed later in the run. Wilkerson gets it a little bit tight through the corner, but stays off the quarter panel of of Bomar. My apologies. This opens the door for Jonathan Baker. Muscles his way to the inside of the 43. Moves him up the track a little bit. Bring the 36 into P7 now. Wilkerson under attack from Hunter M. Collier. Wilkerson dropping back. Collier sticks his nose in on his inside. Oh, that's really close. But it looks like Wilkerson is able to hold him off. But Andrew Cootie spins and alt F4s to prevent a caution from coming out. So good move by Mr. Cootie to exit the game before a caution could come out. But now Wilkerson looking to the inside of Jonathan Baker. Looks like Baker overdrove the entry to the corner a little bit, as James Thurston is now in the top 10, running in P10. That's Juan Escamilla in the 86 to the inside of the number 8. Looking to get something going on the bottom. A little bit of a bobble from the 8. That's going to grant the 86 the momentum he needs to maintain momentum alongside him. And you only need a little bit of clay to make the foundation for a pyramid. Whoa, contact between the two. The good saves by both drivers, as Juan Escamilla takes the 9th spot after a little bit of door banging between him and the 8. But it looks like Collier wants that spot back, diving to the inside of the 86. Gonna stick his nose on the inside as I believe it's Andretti Robinson on the inside of Adam Contreras behind these two drivers. But Hunter M. Collier dropping back just a little bit, now right behind James Thurston. Collier to the inside of Thurston, trying to get ninth place, but he doesn't have the space needed. Back a little bit to Adam Contreras in the 92, as that is Nicholas Martinez and Amir Bascombe battling for 14th place. But it looks like Bascombe will yield. As I could have sworn I saw something shaping up. Yeah. Wilkerson to the inside of Cole Denton for 6th place. Denton bouncing off the wall a little bit down the straight. Wilkerson right alongside, but Denton might have the advantage if he can keep the car under him out of the corner, and he does. So Cole Denton doing a good job of holding off Wilkerson, but this allows Juan Escamilla in the 86 to jump to the inside of the 43. Can't get anything done as the 43 shuts the door on the 86. Some good, mostly clean racing here at Phoenix. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a green flag pit stop going through, but that just depends on how these tires wear down. As Escamilla looking to the inside of the 43, coming into turn 1, isn't going to make that lunge. As looks like the 8 overdrives the corner a little bit, almost gets into the 96. And coming to the lead, we have a battle between Sean Rowe and Gavin Austin for the lead. These two not giving each other a lot of room, dooring each other up the track. Well, for no reason whatsoever, my iRacing decided to crash. So we'll be right back. Oh, I can't believe this, man. I apologize for the delay. My iRacing crashed for no reason. That is obviously the opposite of what I wanted. So give me 1 second to rejoin the session. I apologize for the technical delay. My iRacing decided to just disconnect itself. So, we are back live at, yeah, we're live. Okay, at lap number 33 out of 150. Currently, Gavin Austin is your leader after an unplanned technical difficulty. I've never had that happen before. I'm getting pretty good performance, so that was something I've never had happen before, where it just quit itself. But this is the state of AAA gaming in 2024. Looking back for the battle for third place between Sean Rowe, Jacob Wilkerson, and James Bomar. Looks like McKinney, the 76 of Caleb McKinney, is the lap down. Getting into it a little bit with the 76, but looks like no harm, no foul. But Wilkerson up to third as Sean Rowe overdrove the corner just a little bit. But it looks like things have more or less sorted themselves out. But James Bomar looking for a good result here at Phoenix. He's gotten in a lot of other people's accidents. It seems like that's been it's either he does pretty good or gets in someone else's mess. Seems like that's been the whole underlying story behind his whole season so far, is just he performs when he doesn't get tangled up in other people's mess, at least from what I've seen. But a solid performance right now. Currently P5 trying to hunt down the 99 of Sean Rowe, but it's going to be a lot harder when you have a very hungry James Thurston behind you. 3 wide coming out of turn 2 as Bomar gets a little squirrely. So now Thurston moves to the outside. Bomar looking to the inside of Rowe with Thurston all the way up top. Almost went 3 wide for a second. A little bit of a wiggle from the 99. I think the 96 had to back out of it a little bit to avoid running into the 99. Now the 96 looking to split it down the middle. The 99 overdrives the corner. And side by side for fourth place right now, as Thurston tries to take 2 birds with 1 stone. And if he can get a good drive off the corner, he can complete this pass. But no, Bomar with a good drive. But now Thurston able to clear Bomar. So looks like that battle has simmered down a little bit. But going back to Juan Escamilla in P7. Under attack from Cole Denton in the 46. Both these drivers giving each other a lot of room. Some nice clean racing so far between these two. Haven't seen any contact. That's what you like to see here at Phoenix. You like to see a lot of room given and a lot of no contact, because these cars are so easy to spin here. Especially at the low speeds. It doesn't give you a whole lot of room to save it, as a little bit of a slide entering the corner from Cole Denton will make him slide back a little bit from the 86. Going all the way back to 16th, the battle between Dominic Barbagallo and Connor Zola for position number 15. This is the closest battle on the track right now. Both cars side by side. About 12 seconds off of the leader. And both these drivers giving each other more than enough room. Looks like Zola backed out a little bit entering. Didn't want to cause any trouble for the 17. As we have a 3-way battle for 9th. As Adam Contreras looks to the inside of Evan Allen, forces him up the track a little bit. no harm done, but Evan Allen's going to have a good drive off the corner, so he's going to be able to be maintained side by side with that 92. Ooh, but Allen might have cooked it a little bit too much. He got loose and had a big bobble. Good save from the 50, but that will forfeit the position to the 92. So Adam Contreras now in P10 as the battle for P7's heating up again between Cole Denton and Juan Escamilla. Now this time they have to deal with the lapped car of Caleb McKinney in the 76. And looks like they've caught Sean Rowe as well. Looks like Sean Rowe is losing grip on that car. Looks like the tires aren't as strong as they used to be. And like I said, grip is going to be something that's going to be worth its weight in gold in the longer longer portions of these runs, because it's so hard to go fast when your wheels are spinning, you're going nowhere. But looks like Juan Escamilla and Cole Denton both clear Sean Rowe, so Sean Rowe might have burnt up his stuff a little bit earlier. Maybe he's playing it a little bit more conservative than these guys, but not a whole lot of pushback given from that number 99. Going back to our leader in Gavin Austin, he's led, I think, every lap but one, which was the first lap. He started P2, so he's shown that he has serious speed, some race-winning speed. But one caution can throw a big monkey wrench into all of this, especially with Riley Marabello right behind him. But Gavin Austin doing a good job of holding Riley Marabello to about a 4/10 of a second gap between the two. But something that I would watch out for is that number 96 of James Thurston. If he hasn't burnt up his stuff too much, clawing his way through the field, he might put himself in a real good position to get to this lead group of cars, as he's about 2 seconds behind Gavin Austin, but about a tenth faster, as Riley Marabello has made it to the back bumper of Gavin Austin. A big wiggle out of Gavin Austin, so it looks like he is struggling with grip as well. So now he'll have to battle with both grip and Riley Marabello breathing down his neck. As we reach lap 50, Marabello takes a peek to the inside from the middle lane. A little bit of internet issues from the 22. A little bit of contact that I'm sure that was unintentional, just because, and a little bit of bumper tag. What is going on between the leaders? This allowed Jacob Wilkerson to get to the lead, as shenanigans between the 220 the 210 and the 16 puts both of them into the outside wall in the final corner. And Wilkerson probably sitting rather pretty, since he's the benefactor of that whole kerfuffle. So now your leader is Jacob Wilkerson in the number 43. And with that 210 struggling for grip, and he might have burnt up what was remaining of his tires with that move on the 16. Now he's going to be under attack from the 96 of James Thurston, and now it'll be up to Jacob Wilkerson to try and pull away from Riley Marabello, who probably also accumulated a good amount of heat into those tires from sliding up the track a little bit, or not really sliding up the track, but from being essentially punted up the track by the 210. As Thurston has moved his way up into the 3rd position. Wilkerson opening up a half a second gap over Riley Marabello. So now it's going to be Marabello versus Thurston as Marabello scrapes the wall entering the corner. And we have a caution. I'm not exactly sure for what. So we will have to see. Stand by for just 1 second while we get a replay. So looking back on the replay, it looks like Jonathan Baker making a move on the inside of Andretti Robinson. And yeah, it looks like he just clipped the apron a little bit as Sean Rowe and Caleb McKinney were going pretty slow. And that brought the rear end around on that number 36. And that brought up the caution. It looks like no other cars got involved. So not a lot of harm done. Maybe a little bit of dented ego. But after all of that drama between the leaders, the caution comes out on lap number 55. So yeah, Jonathan Baker dives into pit lane. As let me see, looks like Evan Allen and Joseph Lewis are going to be wave around cars. So it looks like the person leading coming to the restart, when we do get to a restart, is going to be the 43. Taking a look at the iRacing.com pace car as we pace around Phoenix, waiting for the wave arounds to go through, as theoretically everyone in front of that 43 SDP car, Jacob A. Wilkerson, should get the wave around this time by. So yep, looks like they do, and they go through the pace car. And Jacob A. Wilkerson elects to be on the inside line. So coming to the second restart of the race. Looks like coming to the second restart of the race. Your top 5 will be Jacob Wilkerson, James Thurston, Riley Marabello, Gavin Austin, and Cole Denton. And Shockey Tarpley has made a pretty good rise from his lackluster qualifying position, since I believe he qualified in the back. So he's made a good climb through the field so far. Currently in P7. Same with Connor Zola in the 88 in position number 9. So pace car lights are out. And looks like we had to do one more caution or one more pace lap to get everything sorted out. So Wilkerson is the control car on the inside. He's going to be leading this field of about 23 cars to a lap 60 restart here as the sun goes down at the virtual Phoenix International Race, or the Phoenix Raceway. I keep accidentally putting international there. It's Phoenix Raceway. Coming into the final corner. Into the restart zone. Green flag is out. Wilkerson with a good jump over James Thurston. And the rest of the field gets bottled up behind him. 3 wide as Adam Contreras looks all the way to the bottom. Marabello clears Gavin Austin as Gavin Austin tries to slice it back down, but the caution is out. I heard some cars wrecking in the back. Yeah, that is that's Amir Bescombe with going pretty slowly with a little bit of front end damage. So let's see if we can get a replay on that. So looking at the replay, looks like Sean Rowe got a little too ambitious. Maybe misjudged the closing speed between him and Amir Bascombe, and that just unsettled the car. Juan Escamilla, a bystander, and that the 05 of Marenka got involved. Bomar's in it. Yeah, you hate to see Bomar get in another wreck. Nothing he could do. He was really put between a rock and a hard place. As, yeah, heavy damage to Marenka, Bascombe, and that is Joseph Lewis in the 28. Especially Juan Escamilla, as he basically got squished. He basically got squished into the outside wall. So that's gonna be probably some lengthy repairs. And an EOL penalty has been assessed. An EOL, I mean end of line penalty, to Sean Rowe for causing that incident, as he did get a little too enthusiastic. But that happens here at Phoenix. You know, you see an opportunity present itself in front of you, and sometimes with how long the front end on these cars are, it can be hard to judge just how close you are to another driver. And one bit of contact while these cars are turning can really throw them off. So it looks like we should have 2 laps to green for the 4th restart. 3rd or 4th? I think this is the 3rd. No, the 4th. Right? Or the 1 on lap 2? And the 1 on lap 50? No, okay. This is gonna be our 3rd restart. Sorry, had to recount my steps. The iRacing crash kind of threw my sequence of events off guard. So yep, pace car lights are off. The drivers are choosing their preferred line to restart in. Wilkerson chooses the bottom. And your top 5 coming to this restart is going to be Jacob Wilkerson, James Thurston, Riley Marabello, Gavin Austin, Adam Contreras. All these drivers putting up a heck of a show so far in tonight's event. Pace car is in, and they have to do the long pace down the back straight before Jacob Wilkerson can step on the gas pedal. We still have 23 cars still in this race. And looks like 18 of them are on the lead lap. Jacob Wilkerson leading us to the third restart. Green flag is out. Good restart by the 43, but it might not have been good enough to get past Thurston. Marabello trying to split it 3 wide. Contreras all the way to the bottom. And Thurston to the inside of Wilkerson. Can he make it stick? Using all the grip that he can off the corner. 3 wide for P2 as the caution is out again. We will get a replay on that shortly. I heard a little bit of carnage in the background. But like I said earlier, before the race started, cautions breed cautions here at Phoenix. So hold on for just 1 second. So coming back for the replay, looking at Jonathan T. Baker, looks like he gets into the back of the 17, causes a little bit of a chain bump, and just trying to scrub off that excess speed, clips the apron, and gets sideways, and good avoidance by the 48 as Baker tries to get it straightened out, comes right down in front of Evan Allen, and Evan Allen actually goes on his side. We actually have a flip here at Phoenix as Evan Allen takes a very long slide on his side and gets into Joseph Lewis. Looks like he was just trying to avoid it all and got caught up in it. But yeah, so we have a flip here at Phoenix Raceway as of course this is in slow motion as Evan Allen slides on his roof inside like a top. And does he stick the landing? Yeah, looks like it. So at least he won't have to tow it. And he can drive that thing back to pit lane even though it's been bouncing all over the place. Be interesting. I wonder how long the repair time will be on that. But Wilkerson still leads as we get close to the halfway marker of this race in 8 laps. So not a whole lot has changed in this top 5. Jacob Wilkerson was just barely able to hold off James Thurston before the caution came out. But it's like I said at the beginning of the race, Phoenix is a track where cautions breed cautions, especially with this dogleg at the start finish line. Incentivizes spreading out real wide and then a bottlenecks really quickly, which can cause a big catastrophe. But pace car lights are off. Jacob Wilkerson once again chooses the inside line. Thurston this time chooses to be on the inside line behind him. Maybe he sees value on the inside line. So that will put Riley Marabello as the first car on the outside line. So pace car is in, waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out for another restart at Phoenix. Good start by Wilkerson. Marabello caught sleeping a little bit as he split 3 wide. For third place, as Gavin Austin to his inside. James Thurston running up higher than usual, but that's going to give him a good run down the back straight as he tries to make a move on Wilkerson. Wilkerson protects the bottom. Thurston goes high. Thurston may have overdriven the corner just a tad bit, and that gets Gavin Austin to his inside, and Gavin Austin will be able to clear Thurston. Well, not just yet, as Wilkerson has a little bit of a bobble on the inside that holds up the inside line. 3 wide for the lead as, contact between the leaders. Oh, no! Wilkerson's around. Oh, huge hit for Barbagallo. Oh. Goodness gracious. That was a mega hit for Barbagallo as Gavin Austin and the rest of the leaders got tangled up. We're going to have to get a replay on that to see what exactly happened. But I'm sure Dominic Barbagallo probably isn't the happiest camper. So stand by for just one moment as we look at this caution. So looking at the caution, it looks like the 22 clipped the apron a little bit in the corner, got loose, was catching the car, and he just drifted up into the 43. And then at the same time, that brought him into the 96. And then Austin still trying to save it, and the same thing with Jacob Wilkerson. He's trying to save it. Barbagallo tries to split the middle, and just wrong place, wrong time for the 17. So that might spell the end of the day for Dominic Barbagallo. But a nice save by that 210 of Gavin Austin, and just tough luck for Jacob Wilkerson. As Wilkerson with some heavy side damage, and Barbagallo with a hell of a lot of front end damage. I have to see if he'll get that repaired or if he'll hop out of the car. I think that we'll have enough cautions to where he can get it repaired and be somewhat competitive. As you see, Amir Bascombe in the 2. Behind him, he is 12 laps down. He's nowhere near in contention for this. But this whole chain of events has put James Thurston in the pits, Jacob Wilkerson in the pits, and the person probably sitting with a big smile on his face right now is 16 of Riley Marabello, who got through there relatively unscathed. And Nicholas Martinez Jr. has made his way up into the top 5 after being in an early accident. And Riley Garcia also has made his way into the top 5. So good showings by both of them. But we're just under halfway. Anything can happen here, especially at Phoenix. But the pace car lights are off, so all the cars getting lined up. Michael Deitch has made his way into the picture in that number 57. So we might have a crazy new winner that you normally don't see up front here. But that just comes down to how the cards play out. As it looks like Barbagallo, Thurston, and Wilkerson have made their way back on track. So maybe they're hoping for some quick cautions to finish up repairs. But the control car for this restart is going to be the 16 of Riley Marabello. Green flag back out as Marabello caught Gavin Austin absolutely sleeping. He completely stacked up the outside line. Adam Contreras gets into second place just by pure virtue of being on the inside. Contact in the wall with Garcia getting shoved all the way in the back. As we're 3 wide for about 10th place right now. But it looks like things are simmering down a little bit as slow cars are in the way. I think Adam Contreras might have gotten loose or scraped the wall. But this has allowed Riley Marabello to jump out to a 1.5 second lead over Nicholas Martinez Jr. as Michael Deitch is in hot pursuit. And Riley Garcia and that silver number 40 up into the top 5 as Thurston has made his way into the top 10, diving to the inside of Shockey Tarpley and maybe trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by trying to get around the 40 in one corner. Going to be side by side with the 25 for right now, but the 40 holds them off for the time being. Looks like Gavin Austin is stuck behind the 60 of Andretti Robinson at the current moment as Thurston cuts the dogleg for all that it is worth. Gets to the inside of the 40. 40 giving Thurston a lot of room as the 57 of Deitch has to pull into pit lane. A little bit of contact between the 40 and the 96 contact. That's the 210 involved. Oh, goodness, yeah. Oh, that's some heavy damage to the 210. Yeah, that car, heavy right front damage. Yeah, that car is done for. That's a shame to see. He was doing a very good job. Led a bunch of laps early on. But Phoenix giveth and Phoenix taketh. So as he runs into every wall, let's get a replay on what happened real quick. So coming back, it looks like the 40 just got loose out of the corner and Shockey Tarpley had nowhere to go. And Gavin Austin was just an unfortunate, just wrong place, wrong time. Shockey Tarpley takes a pretty big hit into the inside wall. But yeah, Gavin Austin, he got some pretty serious airtime, and I think that broke the steering on that car, as yeah, that car just goes straight into the wall, and that will be the end of his race for sure, as there are no fast repairs in this event. So just unfortunate circumstances for the for that number 22 of Gavin Austin, as he'll go multiple laps down getting that car repaired. But with the field thinning itself out, Riley Marabello might be liking his prospects right now, as your current top 5 is Riley Marabello, Connor Zola, Jonathan T. Baker, Michael Deitch, and Cole Denton. So you don't see a lot of Connor Zola, and he's in second place. not gonna jinx them, but who knows? We might have an upset alert in the making. As far as I know. But the previous leaders like Wilkerson and Thurston are all getting more damage repaired for their cars, as I'm sure Gavin Austin will hang up his helmet for the rest of the race. And Amir Bascombe in the number 2. Currently 21 laps down, and he hasn't retired yet. You have to give him credit for that. He's not a quitter just yet. I mean, he could probably gain a couple positions, considering that Shockey Tarpley has left the session, I think, and Gavin Austin is all damaged, but maybe they're doing engine repairs on that number 2. But pace car is in for yet another restart. We had a long green flag run and then just restart after restart. Hopefully we can get another green flag run in as the rest of the field scrambles to catch up to the lead pack. With Connor Zola in the 88. Looking to make a statement on the outside. Green flag in the air. Marabello with a good start. Connor Zola isn't able to pull alongside. And Connor Zola allowing Jonathan Baker to get past him. And now under attack from Nicholas Martinez, as there's a car on the wall in the back. I wasn't able to catch who that was. But Nicholas Martinez able to get past Connor Zola coming into the corner. So your top 3 is Riley Marabello, Jonathan T. Baker, and Nicholas Martinez, as that was a close block between Martinez and Zola. Martinez is lucky that Zola was clear. But lots of racing going on further in the back as Caleb McKinney battling Connor Zola for the 4th position. As if cars bouncing off the wall, that's Michael Deitch scraping the wall a little bit. But a battle between Caleb McKinney and Connor Zola. It looks like Connor Zola is fading back just a little bit as he gives the position to Caleb McKinney. But Jonathan Baker looking to make something work on the 16, trying to get a good run out of the corner. Will he jump to the inside? Marabello shuts the door firmly on him. That sacrifices entry a little bit, and that's gonna allow Martinez to close in, as both Baker and Marabello cut the dogleg. Martinez to the bottom, and it looks like Marabello might have overshot the corner a little bit. So Martinez vying for the lead on the inside of Baker, and if he can make it stick, Martinez will position himself in position number 2, but Baker's not going to give up that easily, as Baker looks to try to get the undercut on the 48, as Marabello is running a very high line, but whatever works for him to keep that lead. 3 wide for the lead, as Baker has to back out a little bit to avoid hitting Martinez. So now it looks like it's a 2-horse race for the lead, while Baker tries to recuperate any sort of speed, as it's Nicholas Martinez breathing down the neck of Riley Marabello. As we have, I believe that's, yeah, Dominic Barbagallo in the back running in the top 10. But Nicholas Martinez looking to the inside of Marabello, on his inside through the dog leg. Still has a nose on Marabello's inside, side by side through the center of the corner. And almost contact between the two. Martinez slides up just enough to where they don't touch. Maybe a little bit of bumping in the corner from Martinez, but no harm, no foul, as Martinez dives to the bottom of Marabello. Marabello not able to block in time. So a great battle for the lead between the 48 and the 16, as I think Marabello might have overcooked the corner just a little bit. Martinez, oh, he was pixels clear. I think Marabello had to ease out of the gas a little bit to avoid Marabello sweeping across his nose. Or to avoid, I think Marabello had to lift a little bit to avoid Martinez sweeping across his nose. As now Marabello has to find a way around Nicholas Martinez. But surely running the bottom so tightly might have put a little bit more strain on Martinez's tires than it did on Marabello's tires. As we look in the back for the battle for P6, Connor Zola in P6 under attack from Cole Denton, as Connor Zola restarted the first car on the outside line in second place, but has been sliding back ever so slightly as Cole Denton dives to the bottom of Connor Zola, giving ample amounts of room. Nice clean racing between the two as they are side by side exiting turn 2 and into turn 3, as Connor Zola lets off the gas earlier than Cole Denton. So Cole Denton takes the 6th position. As Nicholas Martinez Jr. has opened up an 0.8 of a second gap over Riley Marabello and company. And your current top 5 is Nicholas Martinez Jr., Riley Marabello, Jonathan T. Baker, Caleb McKinney, and Adam Contreras. And it looks like farther in the back, Thurston and Wilkerson have been having a hard time catching up. I think Wilkerson might have gotten in an accident of some sorts, as there's a lot more damage than I remember seeing. So things have gone from good to bad to worse for Jacob Wilkerson, as James Thurston doing his best to try to claw through the field and salvage any positions that he lost on that last race, under that last caution, trying to get repairs done. As we look at Caleb McKinney working on Jonathan T. Baker for 3rd place. Caleb McKinney's been doing a good time biding his time, waiting for other people to make mistakes. And yeah, there's over a second and expanding between first and second. So if we don't get another caution, we might see a surprise winner, as most of the fastest drivers are in the back right now. The closest battle we got on track right now is for the 10th position, as James Bomar looks to the inside of Connor Zola, and that's Aiden McNeely in the 21, looking to make something happen with these two, as I think Connor Zola had his time up front and now he's fine slipping back just a little bit, as James Bomar has made his way into the top 10. It looks like the gap is closed a little bit between first and second, about 0.8 from 1.1 seconds, as Wilkerson goes a lap down. I think something might be wrong with his car, as he is slower than normal. Normally a very fast driver, but seems like there's only so much you can do with a battered race car. As Riley Marabello is setting about a half a tenth faster lap times than Nicholas Martinez, as the gap is closed down to 7/10 from 1.1 seconds not too long ago. Going back to James Thurston, the number 96 in 13th, as he looks to the inside of Michael Deitch, as he can't get anything done, but he'll be under attack from Juan Escamilla, as Escamilla shoots to the inside. Thurston doesn't give him too much of a headache, as we saw Connor Zola and Aiden McNeely battle for the final spot in the top 10. And Adam Contreras to the inside of Caleb McKinney for the 4th position. This is going to bring Cole Denton to him. So we're going to have a 3-car battle for the 4th spot, as Contreras tries to get that bottom lane working, but can't get anything done to the inside, as Denton cuts the dog leg to get to the inside of Contreras. Not close enough, and Denton has to back out a little bit more. He might have overdriven the corner a little bit. But something that I'm noticing is that the gap between Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Riley Marabello has visibly shrunk to just under half a second now. Only a couple laps ago, it was 1.1 seconds. So maybe Nicholas Martinez has been using up his stuff, as you see his car get a little bit wiggly out of the corner. Last lap was a 28.5 from Riley Marabello and a 28.6 from Nicholas Martinez Jr. And about the same story. So under 0.4 of a second now, separating Nicholas Martinez and Riley Marabello. If this continues, we might have a real good battle for the race win, as we are within 50 to go here at Michigan. But if I'm not mistaken, we still have one more green flag pit stop, assuming that there's not another caution. These drivers are more than capable of getting a green flag pit stop in. I'd love to see that happen. It happened at Michigan. And I'd love to see it happen here at Phoenix. 2 vastly different tracks, but field strategy, always a welcome addition to my books, as the gap has closed to within 0.3 between Riley Marabello and Nicholas Martinez Jr. Looks like Martinez is struggling for grip on corner exit, especially out of turn 2. And Riley Marabello has just been methodically been taking chunks out of his lead. Hopefully Martinez isn't sweating bullets, but surely sometime they'll have to come into pit. As it's within 0.2 of a second now. Riley Marabello is breathing down the neck of Nicholas Martinez Jr. He wants to retake this lead. Will Marabello make the move entering turn 1, and the caution comes out? Well, that's a little anticlimactic. We will have to see what brought out that caution. So stand by for just a moment. So we're taking a look at Caleb McKinney, who was running, I believe, 4th at the time. Looks like he might have gone into the wall, gets really loose because of it, tries to save it. Car fishtails all over the place. Contreras evasive action, and no one was around him at the time. And all the cars start coming up on him. And wham! That is James Thurston. That is the end of his race. That's what brought out the caution, was Thurston getting into that. As I mean, the field was pretty spread out at the time, and then just a big clump of cars. It's always, in hindsight, it's always easy to say I would have avoided that, and you can hear the engine expire on the 96 after that hit. It's always easy to say I can avoid that, but when you're in the zone, you're trying to gain positions, and that comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really give you a lot to work with, as James Thurston is parked on track. So hopefully he will get it off sometime soon. So your top 5 at the moment is Riley Marabello, Jonathan T. Baker, Aladam Contreras, Cole Denton, and Dominic Barbagallo. Dominic Barbagallo, after slamming into the side of Jacob Wilkerson, has made his way back into the top 5. A very nice recovery drive from that number 17. I mean, it helps to get all your damage repaired. It helps to get all your damage repaired. So your car more or less functions at a good pace. Looks like Nicholas Martinez Jr. might have had something happen in pit lane and has dropped all the way back to 11th, surprisingly. As Riley Marabello elects to choose the inside line for the restart. So he's going to have Jonathan Baker on his outside. He's going to have Aladam Contreras behind him. And truthfully, this is Riley Marabello's race to lose, if I'd have to say it. Most of the day in, day out winners of this series is out of the race, basically. I mean, James Thurston is out. Gavin Austin was out, even though I don't think he races that often, but Gavin Austin, he was pretty poised to win and got involved in that accident. Sean Rowe, Andrew Cootie, when he shows up, he's a threat to win. And I'm not saying that these other drivers aren't capable of winning, but to be on the level of winning that Marabello is able to achieve, anyone who can reach that is out of the race. So we're going to need a masterclass from one of these drivers behind Riley Marabello, or a mistake from Riley Marabello, to give anyone that isn't him the victory. With 35 laps to go, as the caution has been extended for a small period of time. All right, pace car lights are out. So 1 to green. This time by, as that's Jacob Wilkerson pulling out of pit lane. As much damage as he can get, taken care of. Trying to salvage any points that he can get. He's currently the only car in Lucky Dog status, as he's the only car 1 lap down. But pace car is in pit lane. So Riley Marabella will lead the field to, I think this is like the 8th restart, if I'm not mistaken. I lost count. Waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out. Marabella with a good jump over Jonathan Baker. Adam Contreras looking to the inside of Marabella. Can't get it done, but he's clear of Baker. So looks like it's going to be the 92 and the 16 duking it out as Contreras slides wide. Baker gets all crossed up. The cars all scramble to avoid each other. As I apologize for the shoddy camera work. I was caught by surprise and trying to switch to Jonathan Baker. But both second and third place had basically a coordinated miscue, as Nicholas Martinez Jr. has made his way back from the back of the pack to the front. 4 wide for second place. Adam Contreras running the apron. It looks like he might have knocked something loose in that car as he pulls into pit lane. So now Riley Marabella has essentially been gifted a 1-second lead over Nicholas Martinez Jr. and the rest of these drivers, and it'll be up to him to see if he can hold it off, as we have some 3-wide racing, as Jonathan Baker trying to get some positions that he lost. Oh, sideways and around. Connor Zola in it. And I'm surprised no caution has come out. I think it might have been also due to him blinking out, as Nicholas Martinez Jr. is slow. And yeah, that front suspension is killed. So we were just talking about Nicholas Martinez Jr. and now he's out of it. So now Dominic Barbagallo battling with Cole Denton for second place. This is the same Dominic Barbagallo that ran to the side of Jacob Wilkerson at almost full speed, battling for second place and in a podium position. But Riley Marabella has to be probably praying that another caution doesn't come out, as I think he's probably the only relatively clean car in this field, with the exception of, I think, Michael Deitch. And yeah, I think that's it, because I think everyone else has either slapped the wall hard enough to cause damage or has gotten in a wreck of some sort. But 1.6 seconds separate Riley Marabella and Cole Denton. And I'm sure Michael Deitch is hungry for third place if he can get it. I don't think that I've interviewed him, as Barbagallo slaps the wall a little bit. As, yeah, that gap between Denton and Marabella has widened to 1.8 seconds. So as if a caution doesn't come out, this is Marabella's race to lose, as Deitch is all over the back end of Barbagallo, hounding him for that third place, as it looks like Barbagallo just doesn't have a lot of drive out of the corner. Deitch looking to the high side, and that's Andretti Robinson not too sure on where to go. Pushes Barbagallo a little bit, makes a 3-wide contact between the 17 and 57, as the 60 dives all the way to the bottom, and the 57 trying to make something work on the outside. Can't get it done, but the 57 crosses both of them over and will be on the inside coming into the corner. as Andretti Robinson gets a little bit into Dominic Barbagallo, forcing him up top. And now Michael Deitch is in third place. A little bit of a wiggle from the 57, allowing the 60 and the 17 to get right past him. Any gains by Deitch has been negated by that little wiggle, as Barbagallo was all over the back end of Andretti Robinson, looking to get back into third place. Looks like Aiden McNeely and Joseph Lewis have caught up to these drivers, since they've all been battling pretty heavily. As McNeely looking to the inside of Michael Deitch. Deitch giving him a lot of room, but he'll have the speed coming off of the corner to hold him off for right now. Crazy late race action, as that's Joseph Lewis slapping the wall a little bit. But going back to the lead, Riley Marabello has about a 1.5 second gap over Cole Denton. I think Cole Denton, as much as he'd like to win, I think he'd be very happy with the second place. But also, Andretti Robinson biding his time and coming out of basically nowhere to come up with a final podium position right now, as we have 21 laps to go, as the thinned out field starts to spread out. So I don't know what type of shenanigans happened, and truthfully, one of those earlier wrecks should have been a caution, but I digress, as it looks like Robinson having a little bit of grip issues coming out of the corner, so he might have trouble staying in front of Dominic Barbagallo, but it might be hard to have any speed on anyone when your front end is that badly beat in. But Michael Deitch all over the back end of Dominic Barbagallo. Deitch looking to the inside, and I think Barbagallo might have the drive off the corner. Yeah, Barbagallo's good out of the corner, but Deitch is good at moving Barbagallo up the track just a little bit to try and get him out of that preferred racing line. But Phoenix is a weird track where there's all sorts of lines that can work. As Aiden McNeely looking to the outside of Michael Deitch, trying to make something happen. Looks like nothing materializes just yet. This is the battle for fourth and fifth heating up. As Deitch to the inside of Barbagallo. Looks like Barbagallo might have overcooked the corner a little bit. Side by side for these two. As Barbagallo gets into the wall a little bit, that's going to sacrifice a little bit of exit speed. They're side by side entering the corner now. Deitch overcooks the corner a little bit. Runs Barbagallo high. As Barbagallo gets into the wall. And Deitch cuts the dogleg. And now Aiden McNeely. Looking to get past the 17, a little bit of a bump, but nothing too harsh to unsettle that 17 car. As I think, damage might be getting to the 17. A little bit of door-to-door contact between the 57 and 17. This opening the door for the 21 possibly, as the 21 not to the inside of the 17 just yet. As Joseph Lewis inserts himself into this situation. As a little bit of a bump from the 21 to the 17. 21 telling the 17, hey, speed it up a little bit, I think. As we have 15 laps to go, Riley Marabello has increased his lead over Cole Denton to 2.5 seconds. And it looks like this battle has simmered down for the most part. At least until Aiden McNeely gets to the back of the 17 again. So maybe we'll end this under green and we won't have to resort to green flag caution period, or to, not green flag caution periods, for green white checkers. I don't know what I was talking about right there. But Aiden McNeely all over the back end of the 17. He wants to get past him so badly for that last top 5 spot. But I don't think Dominic Barbagallo is going to give it up anytime soon. As it looks like McNeely's a lot faster through the center of the corner, but Barbagallo just outspeeds him on corner exit. You see just how close he gets to him in the center of the corner, and then just can't pull up to him exiting the corner, and that's where it matters the most. As Barbagallo might be holding up the 21 and allowing the 28 of Joseph Lewis to catch these two. As we have a battle for 11th place heating up between Jonathan T. Baker and Evan Allen. Side by side, these two giving each other a lot of room. I think that's pretty smart. No point in trying to race each other too hard and cause an unnecessary caution for 11th place. As they are nose to tail for P11. As Aiden McNeely looking to the inside of Barbagallo. Looks like Barbagallo might have overcooked the entry just a little bit. This might be the opportunity that McNeely needs to get past Barbagallo, but doesn't have the exit speed that Barbagallo does. And I'm sure that McNeely might be a little bit frustrated seeing that very bright multicolored 17 in front of him. Looking to the outside, and this opens the door for Joseph Lewis, but Lewis can't straighten out the corner enough to get any sort of speed on exit. And for all we know, something could go terribly awry, and this could be the cause of a green-white checker that shakes up the entire field. I sure hope not. But McNeely to the inside of Barbagallo through the center of the corner. Will they be side-by-side exiting? And they still won't. They still battle for the final spot in the top 5. And a little bit of a slide out of the 28, so that you can see the grip is going for that car. McNeely running a little bit higher, diamonding the corners out a little bit to straighten out the corners. Now they are side by side, down the back straight, and into turn 3. McNeely will finally have the inside line. But he gets cleared by the 17. Barbagallo is insistent on not giving up 5th place, no matter how much damage he has. But I think that the prospect of a non-damaged car might eventually grant McNeely the key to victory for this battle, as Joseph Lewis scrapes the wall a little bit, side by side across the line. And McNeely runs Barbagallo up a little high as Deitch gets into the wall. So now a battle has heated up for P4 as McNeely catches Deitch after Deitch overcooks the corner and slaps the wall. So now McNeely looking to get P4 from Michael Deitch, as Dominic Barbagallo now has to contend with Joseph Lewis behind him, trying to make a move on the outside. Can't get anything to work, as there's a 3-second gap between Riley Marabello and Cole Denton. As long as a caution doesn't come out and turn this race on its head, it should be done and dusted. as Deitch and McNeely battle for position. Deitch gets into the wall just a little bit, as Deitch running a very high line, and McNeely clears Deitch, but Deitch's gonna have the crossover, but can't get the fender on McNeely for that 4th spot back, as now Barbagallo might try to take a peek at Deitch, as it looks like he got really tight on corner exits. That car is not handling the way he wants to at all. Looks like things have simmered down a little bit. Let's go to our leader. Ever since that final restart, Riley Marabello has been on top of the world. He got gifted a good lead and has not looked back since, as he laps Caleb McKinney to put him, I believe, 20 laps down. So coming to the white flag here at Phoenix one more time here for the SRL Blaze Designs Cup Series. And this is the result that Riley Marabello needs. He doesn't show up super often as far as I know. And a statement victory will probably feel pretty good for him, especially after all the calamity that's happened this race. Through the final corners, Riley Marabello takes the win at Phoenix in a very convincing final stint. Over 4.5 seconds to Cole Denton, but that interval does not tell the whole story, as that was a very wild race. So, as everyone finishes up, let's get your results out of the way. In P1 is Riley Marabello. In second, a very promising performance from the 46 of Cole Denton. In P2, Andretti Robinson salvages a 3rd place after lurking in the back or in the midfield for a lot of the race in 3rd. So he's going to be your final podium position. In McNeely, in P4, Michael Deitch, a very solid P5. Connor Zola got up to the front late in the race, slid back a little bit, but got back to a very respectable P6. Dominic Barbagallo, despite slamming into the side of the number 43, salvages a 7th place result. Joseph Lewis in 8th. Riley Garcia, after a wreck earlier, makes his way back up to 9th. And Jonathan T. Baker, a very up and down race for him, finishes in the final top 10 position. Carson Marenka, a very quiet race for him. I believe he got caught up in a couple of wrecks in a solid 11th place. Evan Allen flips over and finishes 12th on the lead lap. Very solid for him. Adam Contreras is your last car on the lead lap, and he will finish 13th. James Bomar in 14th, 1 lap down. Jacob Wilkerson was up front for most of the race, got in a big wreck, and dropped to 15th. And Caleb McKinney was the last car to finish 21 laps down in 16th place. Nicholas Martinez Jr. had a promising run, but sadly resulted in a DNF. James Thurston, Juan Escamilla, and Gavin Austin also all got DNFs. Whoops. Give me 1 second. Press the wrong button. Shockey Tarpley, disappointing race for him, finishing in 21st. Sean Rowe, he was up front in the early stages and then wrecked out. So he will finish in 22nd. Amir Bascombe eventually hung it up and retired. Then Hunter Collier, Andrew Cootie, Joey Beck, Bryce Hamrick, Pierce Maffitt, and Ryan Bogey are the rest of the people who either did not start or did not finish the race. So in just a quick couple of moments, we will get interviews going. So stand by for just one moment. We apologize for the delay. Welcome back, and we will start our interviews in just a moment. With a very convincing final stint, the driver of the number 16, Riley Marabello, comes home victorious here at Phoenix. You got a copy?
I sure do, Mr. Garrett Hess.
All right, Mr. Marabello, walk us through what happened that race, because that was a doozy, and you ended up basically being gifted a 1-second lead. What was going through your mind at the end, knowing that it was your race to lose?
Oh, man, I was just thinking about not burning up the tires, kind of just hitting my marks the whole way around and just hoping that there wasn't another caution because of all the tomfoolery which was going on during that race. But, yeah, we survived with the number 16 EPI, raceepi.com Ford Mustang. It was fast. It was real fast. We were running up there in the top 5 all night. And like I said, just in the end, I was just hoping I didn't burn up the tires and we didn't get another caution because I didn't know what I was going to do if we did. Because, you have to nail another race start, and then you got the possibility of guys hitting and taking tires, and then you stay out, or vice versa. And then it just becomes like this whole crazy game, and then it just becomes, kind of messed up and such. But, man, I'm ecstatic about this one.
I bet you are. So during that race, you were up front for most of it. Was there any sort of strategy that you were employing, or was it just try to survive by being as far away from other people as you could?
The strategy was kind of, for me, just kind of back up my corners, not really put too much throttle into it, because I'm sure you saw there were a lot of people getting loose out there, even myself included, when I was trying to run down Gavin earlier in the race. Later in the race, I kind of figured it out, because I ate up Martinez sometime later in the race. I think probably closer to 50-ish to go, maybe 40-ish to go, because he was getting loose and tight at the same time, whereas if you back up your corner, you kind of just, and you roll it and you trail brake, you get it right, you're golden, basically.
Yeah, you definitely showed a good job of doing that. So before we let you go and celebrate with your teammates, do you have any people you want to thank for your victory here tonight at Phoenix?
Yeah, I do. Alexander Schumacher for putting on this wonderful league. I haven't really raced too much this season, just not a lot of time, and I've been going to a lot of Cup Series races as well, so that's part of it. Well, before I announce anything else, thank you to everybody, first of all. Before I thank anybody else, I would like to announce that this is, unfortunately, my last full-time season in the SRL Cup Series. I've been here since season 1. It's been a lot of fun. So just want to thank Shuey for putting on the league, and hopefully we can go out with a bang here in the end. But everybody else, I'd like to thank Spino Racing, raceepi.com. Go check them out for setups. Spino Designs and Graphics, and Sam Bruce, my teammate. He was in voice chat with me, kind of just coached me through the whole way there. So thank you to all those people and all you wonderful viewers on FTN tonight, and of course you, Garrett, for putting on this wonderful show for everybody.
Well, you heard the man. Enjoy him before he's gone. That's Riley Marabello finishing P1. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Thank you, Garrett.
Okay, and then next, let me get second place finisher Cole Denton. Let me see if I can drag him into the booth. So, coming in second place is the number 46 of Cole Denton. You got a copy?
Hello?
Oh, you're a little bit quiet. I might want to turn yourself up a little bit.
Yep. I've got it turned up now.
Okay, so did you envision yourself coming home in second place, or were you hoping for just like a nice and solid top 10?
I was really hoping for really anything I could get after that EOL with the line on the bottom on the start. And I didn't know that was a rule. I assumed it and I saw it, but I just wasn't able to keep it up there when we started. So I got an EOL and came back. My car was fast, and I thought that we had a solid top 5 car, and then a bunch of guys wrecked, and I just started clicking good laps away and had a caution at the very end, and they wrecked in front of me, which that gave me some wheel damage, but I still was able to pull off a P2, and excited for Riley too. Isn't that his first win in the season?
I would not know that statistic, but I would not be surprised. I think this might be one of your first podiums this season. So
It is.
so a very good performance from you. Was there any strategy that you were employing, or were you just trying to stay out of other people's drama?
Not really, but at the very end, right before we had that last caution, I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to start saving fuel," because we had like 35 lap run, 40 lap run, and I was 3 laps short on fuel, so it was gonna be close. And then this race has been special to me because this race last year is my first race in SRL, and I actually led 40 laps of that race. So this is one of my best tracks, and I was excited coming into this and super excited to pull off a podium with it.
Definitely showing off your skill at this track. Before we let you go and celebrate with your buddies, do you have any people you want to thank before we let you go?
Matt Jones Motorsports and 77 Speed Shop for my real life legend car.
All right, you heard the man. That is Cole Denton finishing out in P2. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and let me get Andretti Robinson in the number 60. So, coming home in P3 with a banged up car is the number 60 of Andretti Robinson. You got a copy?
I'm here. I got you.
So, walk us through what happened, because I'm looking at your car right now, and I bet all the viewers are looking at your car right now, and there is a big old scuff on that left front. What happened right there?
Yeah, man. I struggled in qualifying. I didn't get a lap in, so I was just coming in through the back. And it happened during that wreck up front with Wilkerson and Gavin Austin, and then I just got involved in it. But honestly, the damage wasn't too bad. It didn't feel like it was aerial damage. I didn't know how much damage I had until I looked at the replay. But my wheel was crooked the whole final run. I was just fighting understeer, man.
Well, you certainly did a good job managing it to come home with third. Did you have any plans for finishing third, or were you trying to just go as fast as you can and get out of other people's way?
Dude, honestly, my plan for going into this was just to survive, because Phoenix is not one of my best tracks. I feel like I did get a little bit lucky with some of the front runners getting taken out, and some of the yellows just fell through. So in that final run, I was just trying to get out of the hornet's nest behind me, and I came home third. So I'm very happy for that. This is huge momentum going into these playoffs.
That is true. You bring up an interesting point about the playoffs. They begin next week. What are your expectations for the playoffs?
My expectations is to just try and keep up with the front runners. I know there's a couple good tracks coming up. I think I can have a shot at my home track at Texas Motor Speedway next week. So I have that mainly circled.
All right, before we let you go and celebrate your momentous third place, do you have any sponsors or people you want to thank before we let you go?
I want to thank my friends Amira Bascom and Shockey Tarfley, because I appreciate them for coming to race tonight. It was kind of annoying getting them to come to race because they don't like this track either, but I'm just glad I had some help out here. And that'll be it.
It's always good to have friends with you. That is the number 60 of Andretti Robinson, rounding out a very solid third place finish here at Phoenix. We'll see you next time, buddy.
All right. Thank you, Garrett.
All right. So with that out of the way, that will conclude our broadcast here on Fireball Talks NASCAR. I'm your host, Garrett Hess. Big thank you to SKS Graphics for the ticker. If you need ticker help for ATVO, go to SKS Graphics. Great group of guys over there. But we'll see you next week, next Sunday at Texas to begin the playoffs. A very interesting playoff format we have in the SRL. More of a March Madness style playoffs than the NASCAR ones that you may be used to. But with all of that said and done, my name